Hey, welcome to introducing the PodClass. Y'all, thank you for being here in the building. We are a little early today. So we are live and it is 8 o'clock. And we are coming to you live early today because it is the mid-season finale of introducing the PodClass. You guys, we have done 12 episodes. This is the 12th episode. In this season, we have been talking about self mastery. And so, for this mid season finale, we're going to bring all of this together. Today's topic is mastery is a lifestyle. Okay. Mastery is a lifestyle. We have had 12 very in-depth sessions about what self-mastery is. And today, in this mid-season finale, what we're going to do is we're going to recap all of that because we're not just here to talk about it, we're really here to do the work. Right. We're here to do the work. So we're going to do that work. All right. And so shout out to all the people who are here early. Shout out to the early birds who are here for class on time. I appreciate you. Okay. So I want to make sure that you have your journals. I want to make sure you have your pens. You want to make sure that if you have the book, that you have the book, and if you have a shirt, you put the shirt on. So we want to get it all. We want it to set in all the way. We want to do the work, keep the faith, because the work is you, right? And we want to, and this is our guide, and this is our platform for us to come together and do that work on ourselves, right? On ourselves, but collectively, because we are collective. And if we can come together, if the collective consciousness can come together, we can affect change, that vibration, the ripple becomes realer. Okay. Don't get me started, guys. Don't get me started. All right. So let's really take a deep dive and look at this. Mastery is a lifestyle. Mastery is a lifestyle. First of all, before we get too deep in it, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe. Also, oh yes, okay, come. You want to share? Okay, yeah. We have one of my in-house class students is here. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. They want to see your shirt. Show them your shirt. Come around here on the front, from right here. See, she knows that it is about doing the work and keeping the faith. Turn around, show them what it says. The work is you, right? The work is you. Thank you, Will, for being such a great model. Yes, the work is you. And so when mastery becomes a lifestyle, you master yourself. Self mastery is the key, alignment is the assignment. You will hear me say that a lot. Okay. So again, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. That's what I would like for you to do. Okay. I also want to that's from last week. So never mind. I'm going to delete that. But here we go. Um, let's look at this week's intention. The intention this week is integration. We want to integrate everything that we have learned over the past 11 episodes, 11 sessions that we have been here. I hope you have been here. If not, go back and watch them. They're all on the YouTube if you're subscribed. We want to recognize how everything is connected because everything connects. These are not individual sessions. They're a collection of thoughts. There's a collection of wisdom in these lessons that help us better understand ourselves in how we progress and move forward. Self mastery in how we think and how we do the work that is ourselves. Okay. So that is our intention tonight. Remember, the intention is to integrate everything that we have learned in our self work journey to master ourselves. And the quote for this week is: mastery is not something you reach, it is something you live. Mastery is not something you reach, it is something that you live. Okay. Self mastery is not a destination. And I will talk about, we will get to that. But mastery is a place where you live, where your being is eternal, where you have mastered your mind, you've mastered your being, and you are able to live in that space. Okay? So that is what we are doing today. I don't really have too many announcements. I'm going to skip the announcements, but what I will do when I come back, I will announce we did have a t-shirt. We had a giveaway 2 shows ago, and or the last show, and I do have the winner, so I'm going to make the announcement and show the shirt for the winner of our last t-shirt giveaway. So congratulations to you. But before we get into this, and I really want to really take the time. I want you guys to really, if you miss any episode, this is the perfect episode to catch, because I am going to go through all of the episodes, tie it all together so that we can integrate everything that we have learned in these first 3 months into our self-mastery, so that we can live from a place of abundance, live from a place of awareness, live from a place of authority. That's what we're going to do. All right, but we're going to get to this musical therapy. I'm going to do 2 selections for you guys today. All right, well, I'm going to do one now, and then I'm going to do one at the end of the show. So let's get into it. The first one is coming right up. So stay tuned. We're going to come right back. Again, today's topic is mastery as a lifestyle, right here on Introducing the PodClass. We will be right back.
Look, got my feet on the ground, head in the skies, praying to God. They wonder why they can't break me. They wonder why they can't shake me. They can't shake me. Built for the pressure, killed for my brother. Personal blessings, still undercover. Medicine cabinet, pill in the bottle. I'm that prescription, witness a novel. Batman and Robin, villains and rivals. Really can't stand us, we made the list of survivors. Most of them tipsy, Remy Moscato. For thinking we ever lost it, when is the motto? My father never beat around the bush, I took the words of wisdom. Think about all the time it took, it's probably worth $1 million. $1 million. Almost lost my mind, but then I found the music. Now watch it last forever, ain't no time included. It's never bedtime, we can rest later. They kept me off the bench, I'm the best player. Got my feet on the ground, head in the skies, praying to God. They wonder why they can't break me. They wonder why they can't shake me. They can't shake me. Been on the ropes, never lost hope. I never blessed by the Most High. I'm blessed. Still wonder why they can't break me. They wonder why they can't shake me. Look, still on the clock. Spiritual knots. Come look inside and see all these millions I got. Come look inside and see all the seeds that I plot. And I talked to him for a minute. Look, don't get too out of your league. I climbed up the highest of trees. My eyes used to light up with gleam. Now I'm just inspiring me. Go let out a sigh of relief. I can be the wind beneath your wings. You can fly and be free. They still relying on me. I get it from my father. Never beat around the bush. Still working on my garden. He always did what it took. So I get what I got. Spiritual knots, yeah. Come look inside and see all these millions I got. Got my feet on the ground, head in the skies, praying to God. They wonder why they can't break me. They wonder why they can't shake me. They can't shake me. Been by the Most High. I'm blessed. Still wonder why they can't break me. They can't break me down. They wonder why they can't shake me. Can't shake me down. They don't shake me now.
Hey, hey. All right. That was a little musical therapy. All righty. Musical therapy selection, loyalty. Um, Shout out to them. I like that song. You can't break me. You can't shake me. All right. I'm committed to this. Mastery is a lifestyle. You cannot shake me. All right. We need to adopt that. So the question for this episode, really, this podcast is what has shifted for you this season? What has shifted for you since we've started this journey in March? Mm-hmm. Um, okay, cool. Yeah. Thank you. So if post it in there. What has shifted for you in this season? Write it in your journal if you don't feel like sharing. But this is because this is reflective for you. You don't have to share, but sharing is caring, and it helps other people see. We can celebrate each other's wins if you would like to share, but it is not mandatory for you to share, but they are for you to reflect. So, what has shifted for you this season? What has shifted for you this season? Write it down in your journal. Take a note. All right. Let's me get into again. The intention for tonight is for integration. We want to be mindful of how we make all of this come together and work for us. So let's get into it. What is mastery? What is mastery? All right. And before we get into the breakdown of the other seasons, let's talk about mastery so that we can then talk about what that looks like when we put all of the ingredients from this season, sprinkling it all in and make it feel good. All right. So what is mastery? Mastery is not perfection, right? We've talked about that several times. Mastery is not perfection. And it's also not intensity, it's consistency, right? Consistency is mastery. Being consistent in your practice is what makes you a master. So, being mindful of yourself, how you think, how you feel, the decisions you make, the actions you do is mastery. It's not to be perfect in who you are, it's to be mindful in who you are, it's to be aligned with who you are. All right. And it's not an arrival, it is your being because it is the essence of who you are. Because again, once you quote unquote master, you still are on the journey of life. So you own it. You embody mastery. Okay. All right. And mastery is consistent. And there's a T missing on there, but it's consistent awareness plus action is what mastery is. The consistent awareness. You got to be aware all the time. And that's why it is work. That's why doing the work, it is work. Because to have consistent awareness, to be mindful at all times, and then to make conscious decisions into that is the journey of mastery. That is why, and I've said this before, and if I don't know if any of my coaches are in the building, like my physical coaches or anything like that, but PT coaches, like when you go into work in the gym, you got to go in constantly. You have to be consistent in that work in order to see results. So if you want to become a master, you have to be consistent in your awareness, because what we're working on is mastering ourselves. So we have to be consistently aware of how we are showing up, what we are thinking, how we are feeling, and not from a place of judgment. Again, we've always talked about that, not from a place of judgment, but from a place of awareness. That's why it's important. And then the action that is taken after that awareness, the choices that are made. This is how we master ourselves. We start to own our autonomy for ourselves. Okay. All right. All right, Miss Patricia Glenn said, more in touch with my authentic self, who I am. Amen. I love that for you, Patricia. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. That is mastery. So, when we talk about mastery, this is what it is. It's not perfection. We're not talking about being perfect, and we're not arriving somewhere and said, I made it, I've mastered it. It is the ability to have a consistent practice of being mindful of your act and being mindful and present to who you are. That is mastery when we are talking about self mastery in the context of this class. Okay. All right. So let's do it. Let's do a season recap. I'm so excited. Oh gosh. All right. So we had 5 real kind of subjects. Even though there were 12 shows, there were 5 kind of subjects that we worked with. All right. So we had awareness, and that was our um, first 2 episodes. Then we have discipline and gratitude. And then we had healing and boundaries, identity and purpose, and becoming and mastery. That's kind of how the season unfolded, the first part. So we had to become aware. And then we developed some discipline and gratitude in this awareness. And then we can heal and reset boundaries based on who we are and what we came to do. And then we can take this, become the fullest expression of who we were created to be, our authentic selves, and master it. Okay. And you will see that we started how we ended, with identity. Okay. Awareness. The first, we show up, we say, who am I when no one is watching? That is the first show. Identity. Without just blank slate. Who am I when nobody is watching? Who am I with my private self and my private thoughts when nobody is around? When I'm not considering anybody else, who am I when nobody is watching? That's how we started. That's with your identity. That is to become aware of who you are in this moment. And then we ended the last episode with the art of becoming. That is the evolution of your identity, of becoming who it is that you were created to be. Right? So we see how we start where we begin. The law of correspondence, as within, so without. Right? As we look within of who we are, we evaluate and we make decisions internally on who we will become. All right, so we're going to walk through this. This is the integration. These are the topics that we are integrating, in a sense, for this first part of the season. So take notes of this, because these are your key things to be mindful of. All right. Okay. So the first section, awareness. First section, awareness. We had that was episodes 1 and 2, and episodes 1 was who are you when no one is watching, and episode 2 is the voice in your head is not you. All right. So we talked about identity. Who am I? Self-talk. What am I saying to myself? What am I hearing? What have I adopted as the truth of my being? And is that who I really am? Is that who I really am? And am I okay with these things? So this is we're talking about emotional intelligence, self-talk. These are important. And again, we want to integrate this, because this process of mastery, when these steps that I'm going to be breaking down, we're constantly in this cycle, perpetually in this cycle as we're living. So again, it's to master this awareness of yourself, so that you can, as we progress through it, make better decisions in who you are becoming, so that it can align with who you are. Alignment is the assignment. All right. So this is the first part. We want awareness. How are we identifying? What are we saying to ourselves? How am I feeling? Right? Who do I think I am? Who do I say I am? And how do I feel about myself? This is awareness. This is what we looked at in those first 3 episodes. I mean, this first two episodes, but those topics right there. Okay. So we want to be mindful of this because we're getting ready to go on break. And then this is very important to pay attention to these things because you guys are going to be flying solo for a couple of weeks. All right. The second section is discipline and gratitude. Discipline and gratitude. Now, those were episodes 3 and 4. 3 and 4, we said discipline is self love in action, and gratitude is a frequency. That's episodes 3 and 4. So, discipline is self love in action. We discipline ourselves, we learn to gain trust, self trust for who we are, that we say what we do, we mean what we say, and we say what we mean about ourselves, not about the things that we do for other people. Okay, we'll get to that part. We got to work on ourselves first. Do I keep my word to myself? When I say I'm not going to do something, I'm not going to eat something, I'm not going to say something, I'm not going to, do I hold myself accountable? Discipline of the mind, discipline of my thought, discipline, not just in my action, but in my thought. To see how I think about myself because I've already identified it in the awareness, right? So self-trust, how do I trust myself? Am I consistent? Right? Because that's part of the mastery is to be consistent. And then am I grateful for my experience? That gratitude frequency, which helps keep you vibrating at a high level. Gratitude is one of those high vibrational feelings and emotions that can drive you towards your highest self. To be grateful for being present to the experience. That gratitude frequency helps you to, once you are aware, to be grateful for your awareness. Is that level to say, hey, I see me. When no one else can see me, I see me. I know me. That is something to be grateful for. The journey that we are on is to be to be grateful for. So discipline and gratitude once you are aware. Because the thing is, once you're aware, that could put you in a very depressed state. That can make you feel bad about yourself if you if you let it. Because we judge and things of the sort. That's the reality. That is a reality. But we have to learn to be disciplined in how we see the thoughts that we are having. Okay. So that's that part. So then let me go. Where were we at? Section 3, healing and boundaries. Healing and boundaries. And now, so now this is where we can start to actually, we're in this section now, we're moving into healing. We're into creating and building that castle. You know, I'm the queen. I live in a castle, has a moat. And the chambers, you are healing when you claim your authority, right? Because again, this is episodes 5 and 6. Episodes 5 and 6 is boundaries are the highest form of self-respect, right? Oh, and healing is remembering who you are. So healing, remember when you remember who the hell you are, that you were created, right? When we get to the end of that, when you were created in the image, you be the image because you remember. You're able to heal the broken pieces of yourself by reclaiming the authority and remembering who you are, who you were created to be authentically. Right? But you have to do that work because there's uniqueness in you. There's uniqueness in how you think. There's uniqueness in how you act. There's uniqueness in that. But you have to be able to heal your wounds and not judge yourself and to remember who you are. Okay? The authority, reclaim the authority that was given to you because it is given to you. You have to claim it. And when you remember who the hell you are, you can do that. All right. And then boundaries are the highest form of self-respect because now you can fill your cup. All right. Self-respect Falami, respect and honor me. When you set boundaries, you put into action that self-love, those disciplines that you have for yourself, right? Now you can also start to set boundaries for things that you will and will not allow, that don't work for you, right? And that is how you set the standard for yourself. And who is going to teach you, tell you how to treat you? You teach people how to treat you. Those are the boundaries. That's the self-respect. And so if you feel like disrespected or feel any kind of way, then that's what you have to be able to recognize, how you are allowing yourself to be whatever that is, right? So we got some inner child healing. Remembering who you are is allowing your inner child, is reclaiming some of that inner child that may be in there, who's scared to come out, who's not getting to heal or experience how far you have come, right? Because the inner child is still locked behind trauma, locked behind limited thoughts, locked behind other people's thoughts and opinions of you. And we heal and remember who we are, we free our inner child. We give our inner child permission to run free without any inhibitions on who they are and what they do and what any of that. Without the scars, without the without from a healed space. All right? Emotional patterns. And we get more into that, because then that's how you use the something that we learn later on in the season. But what are your emotional patterns? What are your triggers? What triggers you? Why, what triggers you? And because you can identify those emotional patterns, you can start to make different decisions, right? All of this is part of the process. All of it is part of the process. Healing is remembering who you are. Healing, you may remember things that about yourself. Excuse me. You remember things about yourself that will help you reclaim some healthy emotional patterns, things that bring you joy. So that this is why this is important. So again, 5 and 6, and this is only halfway through the season at this point, halfway through the class, but we have done a lot of deep work. And the last 5 episodes, we got into identity and purpose. And this is really where we start to reshape what that looks like for us in self-mastery. We've become aware. We really have done work in identifying, healing, setting boundaries, discipline, self-trust, self-respect. And then we take that information, identity and purpose. Now we look into, okay, ego versus essence. Ego versus essence. Who am I? Reprogramming the story. Rewriting. So we had ego versus essence, rewriting the program in and for purpose, where now we are looking at ourselves deeply and we are taking control. We are rewriting the program. We are aligning, right? This is where we get to the point where alignment is the assignment. We're starting to align now with our mind, right? Our actions, right? And our spirit. We're rewriting the code for who we have become, for who we were. All right. And I meant to, oh gosh, share this guys with you. So this is where you say, and I'll go back to that. So ego versus essence. Who am I when I think about what I really want to be versus who I truly am? The truth of my being is eternal. That's where we introduce that as something that is real. The truth of my being is eternal. It is not what I do. It is not the things that I do. It is who I am. That's the basis for the law of attraction, and I've talked about that before. The essence of who you are is what you attract, not who your ego says that you are. Your ego is boastful. Your ego is your false sense of self. It is the self that is trying to protect it is. And we talked about how ego gets a bad rap, and it's not necessarily bad, but it is very protective. Oh, oh my goodness. And I just had this correlation. The ego is operating off of the old programming. So you have to do the reprogramming in order to get the ego aligned with with its true self, because all of this it has to get into alignment. All right. All right. And then we had the last part section, the last section, which is becoming verse and mastery. And that's where we are today. We talked about emotional alchemy. Okay. Consistency and integration, identity in our consistency in our identity. So emotional alchemy is, how do we take those emotions in that healing that we did? How do we take those that those growth that we had? How do we understand those triggers and emotions that we have, and then use them to align and take us to where we are going on our journey? How do we transmute the energy? The perpetual transmutation of energy, which is one of the laws of attraction, is that energy can never be destroyed. It can only be changed. And so our emotions are the same way. So we use that energy in motion, and that's the becoming. We get to choose now those feelings that we hold on to. To be, because this is the mastery. That get to be, I know I'm aware of who I am. I have the discipline, hmm to be mindful of my thoughts and where they're coming from. I've done work. I've done the work of healing. I've set boundaries. I know what I am no longer just an open gate for people to flow in and out of. I am protective of my energy. I store my energy, and I use it on purpose, for purpose, in purpose, to be light. And now, when you try to throw muck on me, what I do is I catch it and I wipe it back to you with a whole bunch of love. Emotional alchemy, or whatever you decide to do. I'm just saying. And you are consistent, and you can do this with ease, and you can do this with your eyes closed. We are integrating that into our being. We are showing up as this every day. We are being that. Even when we know that it's going to be consistent, the process is consistent. The process is perpetual. The process is a pattern as well. You will get to a point in your journey where you may seem like you keep going through the same types of things. That is because at any given point, you're going to go through you're going to have similar scenarios. And it's like, now you get to test how you have developed, how much you have grown over that time. You get to put that into practice. That's where the mastery comes in. You don't get to just, you know, you have to do the work. Hello. You have to do the work. That's it. Welcome to introducing therapy. Yes. Some people need to come and sit in the class, but we won't talk about it. All right. If you know somebody who might need to sit in the class, just let them know. So I do want to share these questions with you guys. So the first one is awareness. So um, how has your inner voice changed? Are you aware from the beginning, since March, if you have been here since March? And even if you have not, let's just examine, because we're about to be mid-year almost, clearly. How has your inner voice changed? Have you noticed a change in your inner voice? Okay. What do you talk to yourself different? Do you notice that you are able to catch yourself talk, identify the self-talk and where the self-talk is coming from? All right. The voices that you hear are not your own. Do you understand? Are you able to recognize your voice versus what society says, or them, whoever them is. I don't know who them is, but whoever them is, are you able to identify them versus you? Are you able to identify God versus people? So that is the first, that's a gauge for you in your awareness. How has your inner voice changed? Because that's really what we're talking about. How we treat ourselves. Not what other people are saying to you, but that inner voice. Okay? Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm still working on that, but I can see more progress. Thanks for opening my eyes to more aware of dealing with childhood trauma. Congratulations. I'm happy for you because a lot of us, the truth of it is, a lot of us deal with so much trauma, and um, and we don't get a chance to deal with it. And we live with it for so long that it becomes part of our identity. And a lot of us are not even aware that that is what it has become, part of our identity. So again, we started how we ended, right? The awareness is, where am I presently? And presently, it could be someone who is holding a whole bunch of trauma, a whole bunch of the things from the past. And a lot of that shows up in how we think and talk to ourselves. So, has your inner voice changed? Are you able to identify the voices that you hear and where they are coming from in that thought process? Is it you? Is it place? Is it coming from a place of trauma? Where is that coming from? All right. All right. The second section, discipline and gratitude, question is, what habits have shifted? What habits have shifted for you? What do you do differently? Are you more intentional about being grateful? Do you have a disciplined practice now? How do you track those thoughts that are in your head? How do you deal with those voices when you realize that they are not yours? What is the practice? That's discipline. What is the practice that you have developed in order to keep yourself accountable to you, right? And then how are you showing gratitude for your growth, for the awareness? What are you doing with all this new information that you have for yourself? Because that is important in the integration. What habits have shifted for you? Okay. This is the discipline. Where are you more mindful? Even if it's just like, you know what, maybe I'm not. Maybe or maybe I thought I was, or maybe I'm just a tad bit more. I'm a tad bit more disciplined. You know what? I saw myself doing something I shouldn't have done. And I was in that moment, I was aware. I may not have done anything about it, but I was at least aware of it. And that's new. And that's good. Okay. Because don't judge me. All right. So what habits have shifted for you? And then section 3, when we're talking about healing and boundaries, the question is, where have you started honoring yourself more? Where have you started honoring yourself more? Where have you identified, right, in the awareness, where have you identified yourself, and you have set discipline and gratitude for who you are in your journey, and now you are honoring the truth of who you are. You are setting boundaries. Are you setting boundaries? Are you more self-love, more self-trust, more self-care, more self-awareness, more healing intentionally, more honoring how you feel, learning to say no? I gave a tip in one of the in this particular show when we're talking about boundaries is, if you don't know how to say no, if you can't say no, just say, you know what, give me a minute, or not right now, or something that allows you to give yourself time to honor yourself before you jump in and to do something for somebody else. Honor yourself. So where have you started to honor yourself more? Okay. Let's see. Kim says, Accountability and intentions are habits that have been setting in more. Okay, accountability and intention, right? Intentions are intention is a lot. You have to pay attention to your intentions, and that is discipline, right? If you have intentions, you're accountable. That's paying attention to your intentions. You have set something and now you are accountable to that. You want to pay attention to that on a regular basis so that if you set that in. So, very good. Again, where have you started to honor yourself more? All right. And then section 4, we're talking about identity and purpose and what feels more aligned now. Where do you feel you are recognizing yourself? Where does it feel right? Where is it resonating for you that this is my purpose? I or I'm going to hit you with this one. Or in this awareness, cuz everybody's not on the same page. Everybody's not even in the same book, right? You may have identified that you are totally out of alignment and you threw the whole thing away and you have to start all over. And now you have to try to identify what actually aligns with you. So, what feels more aligned now? Did you realize that you were totally out of alignment? Did you realize that you had been doing things on autopilot, that you had not even been showing up for yourself? You had not shown up for yourself. You don't even know what alignment is because you hadn't taken the time to identify for yourself. So, what feels more aligned now? Is it even paying attention to myself first? Or where have you been placing your alignment now that you need to readjust yourself? Because again, alignment is the assignment, and you want to be aligned mind, body, and spirit. Okay. So, what feels more aligned for you now when you think about identity and purpose? On in for purpose. What feels aligned for you? And these are the things that we pay attention to in progressing in this self mastery. Because when you put all these things together and mash them up, you really have a framework for you to move forward with. Okay. All right. Let's see. We got some comments. Establishing clear boundaries. Is that for section 3? I believe that is said. Okay. Establishing clear boundaries. Establishing and enforcing clear boundaries. I'm going to offer that as an addition because the establishment of clear boundaries are only as effective as the enforcement of said clear boundary. Very good. All right. And then I remain appreciative. I stay positive. Even within my emotions, I understand the emotions of others. That's empathy. And your empathy. And that's great. You know, we do want to consider others sometimes. Um, Even if it's just the understanding. I'm going to say this because I'm a very empathetic person. Um, and I can understand where you're coming from and still not put myself in harm's way. I have come across people who will tell me flat out that they have a problem and I'm supposed to be okay with that. No, I empathize with you in your position, but for myself and for my safety, I am unable to engage in that way. That is not a lack of empathy or feelings. That is the understanding that I understand where you are. And for myself, and to be able to protect me, I have to make set decisions. A lot of times people conflate. They think that just because you understand what somebody is going through, that you have to stand in the stuff that they are going through with them. And that is not the case. That is not the case. That is not empathy. That's a lack of boundaries. Mhm. That's self-sabotage in a sense, because you never have to be the sacrificial lamb. If it's going to disrupt your peace, your sanctity, your safety, you don't have to engage. You can understand and you can empathize. You can even offer support. But again, not at the detriment of yourself. So beautiful. All right. And then what is this? It says, that's where I am saying not right now. Still moving to say no. Good job. Good job. I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you. And again, communication is key. Communication is key. What has shifted for you? Self-discipline. Something that you may have to be is discipline yourself to say something when you need to say something. Self-discipline is not always about withholding. Sometimes it's allowing yourself to be. Think about that. All right. And then in the last part, becoming and mastery. What version of yourself are you becoming? In all of this work, in these months that we have been spent together, March, April, and May, what version of yourself are you becoming? What have you discovered about yourself in this journey that you can now take with you in who you are becoming? All right, in this next journey, this next leg of your life. All right, who are you becoming? All right, I love that for you guys. All right, so in truth, since we still have a quiz, y'all, we still got a quiz. We got a quiz. So make sure you have your journals and pens and the book, just because you should have the book. I'm going to do another song selection before we come back and finish up the rest of this pod class. This one is called Living Waters. So I'm going to get right into that. And then we'll come back. We're going to do our quiz because today the topic is, what's the topic, y'all? The topic is self-mastery. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about mastery as a lifestyle. So are you ready? Have you mastered yourself? And are you ready to become and live the best version of yourself? I hope you are. We'll be right back.
Think I'm crazy, like I'm some la-dee-da-dee, but I see in the spirit, them haters out around me. Thank God I got my angels, they surround me. I got that living water, it's flowing through my body, and they gon' think I'm crazy, like I'm some la-dee-da-dee, but I see in the spirit, them haters out around me. Thank God I got my angels, they surround me. Thank God for the bad, for the good. Gotta thank God for the past, cause he could've gave up on me, but he didn't give up on me now. Gotta thank God for the bad, for the good. Gotta thank God for the past, cause he could've gave up on me. Word. I'm trying to get you out the penitentiary, trying to make your ends meet, yeah, now your mind's absurd. They keep trying to put me in a box, but I'ma keep on busting out the top. Was floating through the boat and left the dock, ain't hanging by no thread but on the ride. They gon' try and do me in the casket, go ahead, take your pick, have at it. But you can't have my soul, I done cashed it. Float like a butterfly, sting like I'm Cassius. Whoa, better cut the snakes up out the grass like whoa. Think we get one on your head to get the cash by fiending, scheming, demon. To love your heart, but eating all your fruits up in the garden. To all my girls and all my boyfriends, we stand tall until we hurting. Far away's gone away, blessings follow me. Far away, He's mine today, pouring out of me. I got that living water, it's flowing through my body, and they gon' think I'm crazy, like I'm some la-di-da-di. But I see in the spirit, them haters out around me. Thank God I got my angels, they surround me. I got that living water, it's flowing through my body, and they gon' think I'm crazy, like I'm some la-di-da-di. But I see in the spirit, them haters out around me. Thank God I got my angels, they surrounded. Gotta thank God for the bad, for the good. Gotta thank God for the past, cause He could've gave up on me, but He didn't give up on me now. I gotta thank God for the bad, for the good. Gotta thank God for the past, cause He could've gave up on me. Could've gave up.
All right, got the living water. It was getting ready to repeat. It's flowing through my body. I love it. I love it. I love it. And today we are talking about mastery is a lifestyle here, introducing the PodClass. I thank you guys so much for being here today because this is the mid-season finale. You know, I'm going to be going on break, summer break for June, July. We will be back in August. All right. And this particular class, PodClass, we've been reviewing the first 11 episodes of the season. And just a quick note again about what those were. We had Who Are You When No One Is Watching? The voice in your head is not you. Discipline is self-love in action. Gratitude is a frequency. Healing is remembering who you are, and boundaries are the highest form of self-respect. Ego versus essence, rewriting the program. On, in, and for purpose. Emotional alchemy, and the art of becoming. And all of this is a process. It is the work that needs to be done in order to evolve in this process of self-mastery. And so that's what we have recapped today. In this particular episode, we went over, if you just joining us, we went over the past 12 shows and making it all come together to integrate it in not fragmented pieces, but holistic in how we approach self-mastery. And so today's quiz is, are you living in self-mastery? So there's a question kind of for each category that kind of gauges where we see ourselves overall for the season, okay, for this first part of the season. So by all means, if you've been here, you know what it is. 1 through 5, 1 meaning I'm just now starting this out, or 5 meaning I'm living self-mastery. All right, so the first one, I am aware of my thoughts and actions. That's awareness. Okay. That's that awareness. All right. The second one, I make intentional decisions. That's discipline. Okay. Discipline, intentionality. I'm disciplined with it. I'm grateful for it. All right. Number three, I manage my emotions effectively. Emotional intelligence. How are we dealing with these things? How am I transmuting energy? How am I able to decipher what it is that I am feeling when these emotions, that energy and motion, how am I now using that energy and motion? Am I harboring feelings, or am I allowing them to flow and heal themselves, to heal myself? What am I doing with that? Where am I with that? Am I still stuck? It's okay. And it's okay. Okay. This is again not perfection. It's not perfection. I want to stress that. All right. Four, I follow through consistently. Okay. Who do you say you are? Integrity, self trust. And five, I live in alignment with my values. I say I know who I am. I live who I am. And it is aligned with who I was created to be. The truth of my being is eternal. If nothing else, I live from the fact that the truth of my being is eternal. I walk, I breathe it. Where are you? Add them up. And again, you can share or not. It's up to you. Sharing is caring, and we will celebrate you when you do. All right. While you're doing that, we had we do have a t-shirt sponsor. Shout out to our t-shirt sponsor. Whoop whoop. WDCT for supplying us with helping us the production of our shirts, do the work, keep the faith, and there's going to be so many more shirts. But they also have their own shirt line, and we are very excited to uh, share that with you. So I have this beautiful shirt here, ding 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 ding, for our winner. Congratulations to uh, Kim. Is that your what's your thing? KMG Kaleidoscope. KMG Kaleidoscope. Congratulations, because you are the winner. You were the one who got this correct. This is the Sony Walkman logo. Okay, so the question was, what logo was this? So this is, you said, I believe you said Sony. So this is the Sony Walkman logo. So congratulations to you. You are the winner. So this is yours, and you will be receiving your shirt very soon. And shout out to our sponsor for thank you so much for supplying us with such great teas. And again, if you would like to check out their inventory, make sure you check them out. Make sure you check out their site, and yeah, that's it right there. Check it out. And you can see the whole collection of shirts. If you're from the DMV area, then you will enjoy. There's some retro things on there. You would really, really appreciate it. So make sure you check that out. All right. Shout out to WCDCT for your support. We appreciate you greatly. Thank you. All right. All right. So let's see. I got some quiz results here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what y'all doing outside, out here in these streets. All right. Good job. All right. Kaleidoscope, she got 22, and T-Pack got 24. All right. Okay. Very good. All right. So mastery and motion, mastery and motion. This is great. I'm proud of you guys, because again, it's for you. So it's in motion. You are moving towards those things, and can identify where you need those holes filled in. That is important. That is key. Those are important. That is key. All right. Let's see here. I thought I was going to, let me see. All right, let's go to this gratitude moment, because I always want to let's I want us to be present to gratitude at all times. That is something that I live by. Gratitude for the journey, gratitude for the process, gratitude for everything that I have experienced, because it has helped me to collect the data that I have had in order to become the person that I am today. So I would not change any of it, even though some of it I may not have liked. That's a judgment of it. But the gratitude that I have for it is because I understand that it is all part of the journey, right? It's all part of the process. So in this moment, what I want us to remember, as the intention is to integrate, is to be grateful for the growth that we can't always see yet. In this integration of who we are becoming, in this becoming, in this evolution, in this self mastery, we're not always able to see our growth, especially when we are climbing up that mountain and it gets, or climbing out that valley, I should say. When you are climbing out that valley, the growth still looks dismal because you're in a valley, you're in a low place. And a lot of times, if we're starting from a low place within ourselves, we can't recognize the growth because, oh goodness, okay, hold on. All right. When you're in that low place and you're coming out of a valley, right? You're passing a lot of stuff that you've already been through. And it doesn't feel like growth, because you be like, I've been here before, I've done this before, but there's growth in it because you're the upward momentum. Once you pass that point, that threshold of recognizing, when you start to realize that you don't recognize this is new, and that growth, that newness, when you're climbing up throughout the valley, you're going to see some of those things that you passed on the way down into the valley. So the growth that you cannot see yet is the excitement, knowing that soon you're going to break through and you're going to reach the newness. And then once you reach the newness, now it's still a journey of growth, but it's going to be some new things. So even if on your journey of growth, you pass some things that seem familiar and it doesn't feel like it, just know that that's part of that wave. It's part of that rhythm. It's part of that vibration wave frequency where it goes like this, right? Sometimes you're going to be here, you got to go up. So just be grateful for the things that you cannot even see. Let that resonate with you. Let that sit in your spirit. Okay? All right. All right. I hope you taking the test. Talking about the numbers are great. What's your number? What's your gauge? Yes, we wanted to. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for your PodClass. They have been so helpful with dealing with my life journey. You are welcome. I am grateful that it could be helpful for you. I am so grateful that it can be helpful for you. Now, do we have homework? We do. We always got homework. For the PodClass, I'm going to be gone until August. Keep a lookout. Follow I'm still going to post some things. There are going to be some special sessions that will happen. Follow me on Instagram and on YouTube, and Facebook. And I will share that with you guys. But the work, the homework assignment until August is do the work. Do the damn work. Don't skip it. Do the work, because when we come back in August, we want to be able to levitate beyond where we are. We want to be able to elevate beyond where we are. We want to have mastered our thoughts and our feelings, and then really start to uh um allow spirit to work through us, right? Because the self mastery is so that you can become a vessel that allows spirit, God energy to work through you. This work that you're doing, the hard lifting, this is the gym. This is where you get to exercise that. And when you do the work, and when you really get through the muck, and when you really get to, that self mastery, you really are able to 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 own the truth of your being is eternal. Then you become a conduit for things to happen through you. And that is the goal. So alignment is the assignment. So once you are aligned, you now become a vessel for the energy to flow through seamlessly. If you are not in alignment, you may short circuit some stuff, and we don't want that to happen. Okay? All right. So the homework is do the work. Get the book, read the book, do the work, set some growth goals for yourself. It's in the book. Okay. I also am gonna have some things for you guys to download if you want to check out if you want to go in depth for some of this work that we've done this season, then there's gonna be a special surprise for you guys as well, that you can go back and kind of recapture and do integrate this work at your own pace for yourself during the summer. Okay. All right. And then we'll be back, and I'll be talking. I have some special guests and some great things happening in the fall. Okay. All right. And let's see, is there anything else that I would like to say before I roll out of here? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. All right. You know what? I appreciate you guys. Great season. Thank you. Truly enlightening and soul searching. Congratulations. I appreciate you guys for being here. Yay. Yay, 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 yay. That's the goal. The goal is for me is to share. And I appreciate you guys allowing me this space to show up as the host guide, um, to help and walk with you, because you guys are walking with me through this. This is not me telling you something that I have not done the work myself. So when I say the work is you, these things I'm talking to myself. Do the work, keep the faith, Crystal. I'm going to share a story in a minute. Okay, the work is you. When I say the work is you, I was talking to me. I was telling myself, the voice in my head that is mine, I was saying that the work is you. It is no one else's responsibility. It's not your mama's. It's not nobody else's responsibility for how you feel, Crystal. You must deal with that. You must do the work. You must master yourself in order to be able to set clear boundaries and enforce clear boundaries. You have to do that work. What? My screen just went really. That was very weird. I feel like something just. Whew, I don't know what just happened there at 9:09. I don't know what that was. Um, that was strange. All right, do the work. I'm freaking out. I'm gonna wrap this thing up. And we're gonna come back. I really had something to say, and the screen freaked me out. So I don't know what to do. All right, I am going to leave you guys with um another track, because I love becoming. It has become my theme song. Oh, in the meantime, in between time, what you can do is catch me. I will be, if you want to see any live sessions for sure, I will be on Pronoia Starseed podcast. Shout out to the Pronoia Star Seeds. If any of y'all in the building, shout out to you for those who will watch now, who are watching now and will watch in the future. I will have a session on the Pronoia Star Seed podcast. So make sure that if you want to get some live energy, you could check me out over there. June and July. And then, of course, in August, I will be back. We will be back that first Wednesday of August. We will be back with the second half of the season for introducing the PodClass. Thank you guys again for being here, joining, for doing your own damn work. Okay, because it's not about me. I've said it several times. It's not about me. It's about you. We walk through this thing together. All right, hand in hand, because the first law of universal law is the law of divine oneness. So if we can all do our work, if we all do our own work collectively, we become stronger. All right, it's not about changing others, it's about getting yourself in alignment. Alignment is the assignment. Do the work, keep the faith. The work is you. I am Smart Video Girl, your host guide. This is introducing the PodClass. I am signing off for the season, mid-season, and I will see you guys back in August. Thank you for walking with me through this first part of the process, and I hope that you really take the time, dive deep, do your work, and you will join me in August. With that being said, peace, love, all of that, hair grease, all that good stuff. Love you. Bye.